Recently on TikTok, somebody contacted me, and they're from this group called Pro-Extinction. They contacted me and said, "What do you think about a world where everyone would be extinct?" And I thought to myself, well, that would be a way for us to suffer less. Imagine a world that would be almost like the moon or Mars, where there would never, ever be anyone ever crying. Nobody would ever be harmed. No one would ever be mauled to death, starved to death, ripped to shreds. Sounds like a pretty good world in a way. If you're truly compassionate, isn't that what we should be working towards? But here's the fascinating thing. I just assumed everyone in this group would be vegan. But they're not. Because although they are pro-extinction, they're not pro-extinguishing themselves. They are just pro-telling everybody else what to do while they stuff their faces with the corpses of innocent animals and make up all kinds of excuses. So, of course, they kicked me out of the group very quickly when I confronted them with the truth.
These people came with the claim where they said, well, vegans kill more animals because of crop deaths, meaning the accidental deaths during harvesting. And of course, we've heard this argument time and time again. They usually argue that harvesting grain kills mice and insects and birds, and then they also say that therefore plants cause more deaths than eating animals. But here's the problem. Most crops are not eaten by vegans or vegetarians. A huge portion of global crops is grown specifically to feed farmed animals. Typical estimates by scientists are that 75 or 80% of all soy grown is fed to livestock. And when it comes to corn, that's about 40 or 50% of global grain, also fed to livestock. So, when someone eats animals, the chain is that the crops are fed to animals, and then the animals are fed to humans. And that means that crop deaths, accidental deaths during harvesting is what they mean, they still happen. Plus, the animal that gets slaughtered. So eating plants directly removes the middle step.
The second claim is that grass-fed animals cause fewer deaths. That's also not true.
They'll say something like, grazing cows only eat grass, so no crops are harvested. But here are the problems with this claim. Most livestock are not grass-fed. Globally, the majority are raised using feed crops. And grass-fed actually uses far more land. Producing the same calories from grass-fed animals requires much more land, which leads to habitat destruction, predator killing, wildlife displacement, and so overall, wildlife deaths still increase. Another claim they make is they'll say something like, a single cow feeds many people. They say killing one large animal might feed many people, supposedly causing fewer deaths than harvesting crops. Now, at first, this kind of makes sense, but then here's the problem. This ignores the cow itself, intentional death, crops fed to the cow during that lifetime, and land cleared for pasture, animals killed to protect the livestock. When these factors are counted, the death total rises significantly.
Another claim they make is that insects die during plant agriculture, and this is true, but
insects also die massively in animal agriculture because crops for feed use pesticides, manure lagoons destroy ecosystems, grazing alters habitats, and so again, animal farming multiplies the harm rather than reducing it. Some pro-extinction groups argue that since humans harm ecosystem, diet choices don't matter. But logically, if reducing harm matters at all, choosing the option that causes less harm still makes sense. Even people who think humanity should shrink usually agree that animal agriculture is one of the most destructive human industries.
So when faced with these people, it's really simple. Just ask them this. What do farm animals eat? And then they'll answer, of course, plants.
So if someone eats animals, they're responsible for plant agriculture, animal farming, and slaughter. Plant-exclusive eaters only cause plant agriculture. One system clearly requires far more resources and deaths.
So what do you say to these people? You tell them that the vast majority of crops are fed to the animals that they eat.
Every serious analysis finds that plant-exclusive diets use far less land, require far fewer crops, and therefore cause fewer total animal deaths.
To me, the only kind of group that I would ever join with regard to pro-extinctionism is, of course, a group that has vegans in it and who are talking about what the best way is to end as much suffering as possible. And I'm not saying that we should all off ourselves, but there is a way for us to prevent future animals and people from coming onto this planet who will suffer. And it's something that's interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments.
It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your head. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your heart. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be smart enough to grow. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be brave enough to say no to the status quo. Can you do it? Yes, you can. Here are the first steps of your 100-click plan. Google vegan athletes and vegan recipes. You will learn that plants provide all the protein your body needs.
Okay, so now that you know you can be 100% healthy as a vegan, it's time to watch the important documentaries. Because otherwise, without this vital information, you'll never fully understand. Your success as a vegan depends on you watching these. So here they are.
Repeat after me. Earthlings, Earthlings, Dominion movement, what the health, the game changers, Cowspiracy, Seaspiracy, Christspiracy. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your head. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your heart. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be smart enough to grow. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be brave enough to say no to the status quo.
Alright, so let's go over what we've learned. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Plants have protein. You're going to be completely healthy. You just got to eat properly. Being vegan is going to help you. It's going to help the planet. And you're going to be saving 100 animals per year.
It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your head. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta get the message in your heart. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be smart enough to grow. It takes 100 clicks until you're vegan. Gotta be brave enough to say no to the status quo.